Ladies and gentlemen, it's happening. Not only has the second round been field been completed, but for the first time in 31 years, we are getting the Battle of Alberta in the playoffs. Oh man, this is going to be excellent. But first, we have to talk about what led to about the final pieces of the puzzle being put together. Of course, tonight was the end of the first round with the final game sevens and Penguins. Um, it was a pretty close game. Sidney Crosby was back, and so was Tristan Jarry. He made his first start in weeks, but despite those factors, Pittsburgh was not successful. They ended up going to overtime. They actually had a couple of leads in the game until Zibanejad had tied it with 5+ minutes left. They ended up going to overtime, where McCann commits a holding penalty, leading to the series clinching power play goal by Artemi Panarin. So the Rangers move on, and for the Penguins, it's another early exit. They've only won one series since winning back-to-back cups in 16 and 17, and that was against the Flyers. Of course, since then they were defeated by the Capitals in round two in 2018. Then they got swept by the Islanders in 19. Lost the qualifying round to the Canadiens of all teams in 2020. Were eliminated again by the Islanders in round one last year, and now lost a 7-game thriller to the Rangers. They were up 3-1 in that series. It looked like Pittsburgh was really going to take them down, and then the Rangers were too much for them in Game 5. Crosby got lit up and injured, and yeah, that's what yeah, Game 5 was when Crosby got lit up and injured, and then Domingue gives up that easily savable goal late in Game 6, and Game 7, Rangers were just a better team. So Pittsburgh has to wonder: is this it? Is this the last chance? Sidney Crosby said this could be it, the last chance with that group, and I think the consensus is there. I mean, they'll probably be back in the playoffs because again, that taxes in Pittsburgh be the playoffs. But as far as another cup, I don't know. Um, and then the finale, and this is a crazy one. Game 7 in Calgary between the Flames and Stars. The Flames dominated them big time in shots. They were shooting everything. I think at one point for every one shot Dallas had, Calgary had about three. And Ottinger was holding the fort down. He was the only reason why he ended up making it to overtime. And I saw us go to overtime, and I went, sure, why not? It's only the last game of round one. Of course, let's have that go to overtime too. And it was a long overtime, but in the end, it was Johnny Gaudreau who shot it, put it in, and we have it. The Elite Eight is complete. The division finals are all set, and they are and these are the series. In the Atlantic, it's the Battle of Florida once again. The Panthers and the Lightning will face each other for the right to represent the Atlantic in the Eastern Conference Final. The stakes are a bit higher than last year. Not just because they're beating the second round as opposed to the first round for last year. Of course, Tampa won that series in 6. But it's the President's Trophy winner in Ford, the Panthers, against the back-to-back defending Stanley Cup champions in the Tampa Bay Lightning, which means something really big's got to give. Either the trophy curse continues, or Tampa gets dethroned. That's huge, and it's going to be an interesting series. But even though Florida is seemingly high powered, they're not beating Tampa. I said when that series against Toronto went 7, whoever wins that game is beating Florida. Florida's good. I don't think they're that ready for prime time. Maybe in another year, but not now. Not with Tampa Bay still being Tampa Bay. So the Lightning should beat them, but it won't be easy. In the Metro, we have the Hurricanes and the Rangers in that division's final. That's going to be a good one. That's going to be a good one because it was pretty contentious in the regular season. But something tells me the Rangers are going to take it. I can't really see Carolina beating the Rangers. I could be wrong, but something in my gut tells me the Rangers should take this. I mean, they've got the momentum, winning 3 straight after falling behind 3-1. And of course, both teams survived 7-game series. But in the case of that Carolina series against Boston, it was home ice winning out. The Rangers just had that grit, and I think that's going to take down Carolina. So the Rangers should win that one. In the Central, it's the Avalanche against the Blues. Another rematch from a year prior. Of course, we all remember that series. Ryan O'Reilly pounded his chest. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna beat the Avs. Yeah, that didn't work out so well for him. Swept in round 1. Blues didn't have an in-game lead until game 4. I don't think it's definitely not going to be that easy this time. I think the Blues are a bit more amped up. And for the Avs, it's going to be a big test because we swept the first round again, which means we've got a long layoff. We have not played since last Monday, and the schedule did come out. It was announced during Game 7 between New York and Pittsburgh that round 2 would start Tuesday, and the schedule release revealed that our series will start Tuesday. So it'll be a full. We will have 7 full off days since Game 4 against Nashville. That's a long layoff, but of course it also kind of helps that St. Louis. Well, St. Louis' series wasn't long, but it wasn't really short either. The Blues won in 6. They clinched their series on Thursday, so they'll enter that series with 4 days off. But we'll have had 7. So that should be interesting. I think it's the only series. I think it's the only second round series where neither team went 7, because five first round series went 7, but the ones that didn't were the Central Division series, our series against Nashville and St. Louis' series against the Wild, and that's going to be the division final. So that's going to be interesting to see where that goes. But this is not going to be a short series because I think the Blues are have a bit more oomph than they did last year. And then in the Pacific, we finally have it. It's the Battle of Alberta. Calgary Flames, Edmonton Oilers. First time since 1991, when the Smythe division was at its peak during the 80s and early 90s. These two teams couldn't get away from each other in the postseason. They couldn't. And the rivalry was already green enough because the two cities were like this close to each other in the province. But now they added a few more. Excuse me. They added a few more playoff meetings. After that, that is the absolute definition of familiarity breeds contempt. Of course, we got different faces now. It's not Lanny McDonald on Calgary's side, and it's not Lanny McDonald and Al McInnes on Calgary's side, and Wayne Gretzky and Mark Messier on Edmonton's side. No. We got names like Johnny Gaudreau and Matt Tkachuk and Elias Lindholm for Calgary. And for Edmonton, we got Connor McDavid, we got Leon Draisaitl, and we got Ryan Nugent-Hopkins on that side. This is going to be a hell of a series. All I can say about this is get your popcorn ready. Ooh, it's going to be violent. You know it is. So, my predictions for round 2. Lightning in 6. Rangers in 6. Avalanche in 6. Flames in 7. That series is going 7. No way it goes less than that. Even if it goes 6, I'll be shocked. But Battle Alberta is going 7 because these two these two teams want a piece of each other. You know they do. So yeah. So that's that. That's my recap of tonight's round one finale. What a round one it was, even though it didn't have much overtime. Only 8 of the 51 opening round games that were played went to overtime. That's pretty low for round one, because usually you see at least like 15 to 20 of those games go to overtime, but it was only 8 this year. Too many blowouts. That was the problem. But yeah. So that's what I recap it tonight. I won't be back on YouTube until Tuesday, because that's when the next action takes place. Here's the first bit of the schedule. Here's the first bit of the schedule for round two. It's pretty basic. It's pretty basic, like round one was. On Tuesday, it's the Atlantic and the Central, Battle Florida and Avs Blues. And Wednesday, it's the Metro and Pacific, Rangers, Hurricanes, and Val of Alberta. So again, Atlantic and Central Tuesday, Metro and Pacific Wednesday. This pattern continues. This pattern continues for the most part for the next 2 weeks, with the exception of the 21st and 22nd, where the 21st only has one game scheduled, which is our series, Blues and Avalanche, and then the other 3 series will take place Sunday, May 22nd. So, but after that, the pattern returns to normal. So, as far regarding the Tuesday's games, they're on. I think, and from what I'm seeing here in the schedule, I think it's pretty much selective here. Turner TNT is airing the Atlantic and the Central series. The ESPN networks are airing the Metropolitan and the Pacific series. With I've still yet to hear. I still yet to see any mention of ABC airing any games. I think ABC's not going to air any postseason action until the final. But anyway, so yeah, that's the schedule. So that's my recap of tonight's action. If you like this video, click the like button, click subscribe if you want more. My last 2 what went wrong stories about the for the first round will be in the description below when they are published. So check them out when you can. I'll be back Tuesday to recap the first game ones of round numero dos. So with that, I say it was a great round one. Enjoy round 2, and stay tuned.